Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
We welcome you to downtown San Diego and Petco Park as we get ready for Game 2 of a two-game series between the Colorado Rockies and the San Diego Padres. What a night last night for the Padres shortstop Freddie Galvis. He went 3 for 4 with a double, a triple, and 2 runs scored as the Padres dropped last night's game. Carlos Gonzalez was not in the lineup, but he is back in there today, and he goes up against Jordan Lyles, a guy who's had great success against, 7 for 13 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres Baseball. Well, the Padres today will send Jordan Lyles to the hill. He was not in the rotation for much of the year, but today makes his second start since being put back in that rotation.
He threw the ball extremely well out of the bullpen and went above and beyond his first start as a San Diego Padre against the St. Louis Cardinals, who got a pretty darn good lineup. Aims to build off that first start against St. Louis. They thought maybe 3 would be great. 4, okay. 5, golden. Only 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. And this is a carryover from the pen. When he was in the bullpen, a 194 batting average against. Now with that start included, opponents only hitting 211. Why? The sharp power curveball, the fastball was touching 95, and mixing in 10 changeups. And on that curveball, 5 swings and misses on that curveball.
Well, the Colorado Rockies play their home games at Coors Field. That's pretty tough on pitching, so they like pitching on the road, and that's been the case. The numbers back it up.
Well, when you look at the Rockies, they've got a lot of good young arms in that rotation that are homegrown. So, National League ranks Rockies pitchers on the road. Yeah, I think their stuff plays better. And when you look at the saves, you look at the wins, the strikeouts are up there throughout all of baseball. They've got strikeout stuff. Now, when you look at the opposite way, as far as pitching on the road or at home, They laid a couple eggs. You got guys like John Gray, Marquez, Freeland. They had outings to where they gave up 6 and 7 runs, so that kind of inflates the numbers a little bit. Now Marquez, on the other hand, look for his arm side control to be a little off today. He's having trouble locating, but on the road, the nice 1.96 ERA. If you get a fastball in the zone, a hanging breaking ball, I say go to whacking right now for the San Diego Padres against German Marquez.
Well, Game 2 of this series is coming up, and coming up, Andy Heilbrunn will check in with Andy Green on Jordan Lyles, making some adjustments for today's start. Well, we return to Petco Park after this.
Lyles making his second start of the season. His first one was a solid one. 5 innings pitched, only gave up 2 runs, 1 unearned, but it was his curveball that was a big surprise. It's something he's been working on out of the bullpen. He's been working to make it faster, harder, throw it so it has more deception and more bite. Here's more from manager Andy Green on that curveball and the adjustments he's been making out of the bullpen.
I love the attack. Thought he was outstanding. The curveball is a swing and miss pitch. It hasn't been for him before. The changeup wasn't even there, and that's been probably his most dynamic pitch in the bullpen. And so to see him have that kind of success against a very good lineup without one of his premier pitches, that's a great indicator of, like, this guy can continue to take steps forward. So looking forward to watching him get after it against his former team, and hopefully he feels that added incentive going after them.
And guys, if you talk to Jordan Lyles or talk to anyone about Jordan Lyles, you will hear the word aggressive, aggressive over and over. It's a mantra they're really trying to instill in this young pitcher, and they're hoping that they see more of it from him today, taking that bullpen mentality out onto the mound for all of his pitches, being more aggressive in his attack. Well, coming up, we'll see if Freddie Galvis can keep it going. Just 1 home run shy of the cycle last night. We'll see if he can keep it hot at the plate. Padres, Rockies. Last of the 2-game set coming up next on Fox Sports San Diego.
Brought to you by Hyundai. Get a great deal, more than a great deal, on all new Hyundai vehicles. See your Hyundai dealer today. By Sequan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sequan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. By Petco, the pet company. And by Nissan. It's time to upgrade. Save big at the Nissan Tech for All sales event. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Welcome back to Petco Park. It's time now for the weather report. Brought to you by your always sunny Honda dealers of San Diego County. Not a cloud in the sky as we get this game started at Petco Park. 68 degrees, northwest breeze at 11 miles per hour. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Annie Heilbren with you today on a beautiful day for baseball. The finale of not only this 2-game series, but the homestand as Bud Black's starting 9 looks like this today as the Rockies took game 1 of the 2-game series. And David Dahl will lead it off, and he does lead it off and take strike 1. Gerardo Parra will bat next, and then Nolan Arenado here in the first inning. A swing and a miss for Dahl, with Charlie Blackmon getting the afternoon off, at least to begin the game today. That one running away, and it's 1-2.
I like the idea of Jordan Lyles getting that ball and working quickly. Getting into that groove early. Speaking of groove, the last time out against the Redbirds, above and beyond what the Padres wanted and expected.
Swing and a miss, gets away briefly from Lopez, who fires down to first base as Dahl strikes out. Let's check out the rest of the Rockies starting nine. David Dahl just let it off. He's in center. Gerardo Parra coming up. He's in left. Nolan Arenado at third with Carlos Gonzalez in right. Travis Story, the shortstop. Pat Valleca is back from AAA's at first base. Tony Walters, the San Diego native, doing the catching. Daniel Castro at second base. And German Marquez, the pitcher, bats out of the number 9 spot. And Blackman on the bench today, at least to start the game. Gerardo Parra hit a big 3-run home run last night. Swings to the first pitch today and pops it up left side. Galvis, shading his eyes from the sun, makes the catch for out number 2.
Time now for the scouting report for Jordan Lyles. His scouting report is brought to you by GMC. The 27-year-old making his second start. Check that. Second start. First one was against the Cardinals. He threw the ball extremely well. He attacks the zone. We've seen that already with 2 quick outs. And the firm heater and the good yacker, the good curveball. We saw one striking out David Dahl for that first out, getting on top and letting her rip. A harder curveball.
2 down here in the first inning for Nolan Arenado, and he will take a strike over the outside corner.
He's got good fuzz on the fastball. Pounding that zone.
Numbers for Arenado with 326, 8 homers. And 23 runs batted in. And that outside corner again, 95 that time. Lyles, the former Colorado Rocky, taking on his old team, getting his second start, 15th overall appearance for the right-hander. 0-1 with a 3.28 earned run average coming into this start for Lyles.
He was lights out of the bullpen. Opponents were only 194 off Jordan.
Replaced Brian Mitchell in the starting rotation. Lyles, 27 years of age, and brings the 1-2. Swung on and missed by Arenado. Strikes out. A good start for Jordan Lyles today. 1-2-3 in the first. Padres are coming up. Brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Now leading it off is Travis Jankowski back in that leadoff spot and in center field. Eric Hosmer at first base with Jose Perella at second. Frenchy Cordero in left with Franmil Reyes in right field. Rafi Lopez doing the catching. Christian Villanueva at third. Freddie Galvis at short. And Jordan Lyles, the pitcher, bats out of the 9 spot today for San Diego. On the mound is German Marquez.
Well, the 23-year-old making his 9th start. 2-4 seam fastball. He's got the curveball changeup. He's aggressive in the zone. High whip. 1.6 runners per inning. more than a runner and a half. So that's a lot of working out of the stretch for Marquez.
He's in with a 2-4 record, a 5.35 earned run average. Ninth start of the year for him, and Travis Jankowski back in there. Jankowski in center field today, giving Manuel Margot the day off. And Jankowski, who had been starting and leading off in right field, well, we got Franmil Reyes now in right field, and he enjoys the day off.
There's that arm side fastball I was talking about. Marquez in our game open, how he's been inconsistent with that, way out of the zone.
On the ground right side into right field, a base hit for Jankowski. Again into the good hitters count at 3-1, and sends one through the right side of the infield.
He's right on that four-seam fastball. Hitting on top of that, the hard ground ball, not working underneath it. Good extension, and that's exactly what the leadoff hitter Travis Jankowski has been doing lately. That on-base percentage creeping up, the batting average creeping up. Now you got speed on the bases. Get on the board early.
Lead runner on here in Jankowski, and it brings up Eric Hosmer. Hosmer swinging to that first pitch, drives one to right field. Gonzalez going back at the wall. That ball is gone. Home run for Eric Hosmer. Good start today for the Padres, who jump on top 2-0. Sixth home run, the Padres uniform for Hosmer.
Big key for these Padres. Mentioned how getting Marquez into the stretch. Eric Hosmer says, work the count, my eye. I'm going right after that first pitch fastball. 94, down and in. That's a big time mistake from Marquez. He wanted it down and away. And Eric Hosmer says hello to those fans in right center field. Nearly put it in the trash bin. He was going to recycle that one. Ball was crushed.
Now Jose Perella. That's the fast start for the Padres today. Base hit for Jankowski. Home run for Eric Hosmer. That combination. There's a grounder softly towards short. Trevor Story on the run and in time to get Perella.
Take a look at the Rockies defense, brought to you by San Diego Cadillac dealers. Behind Marquez, left to right in the outfield, Parra, Dahl, and Gonzalez. On the infield, third to first, Arenado, Story, Castro, and Valleca. Behind the plate, San Diego's own Tony Walters. Putting down the fingers for German Marquez.
Dahl getting that first start ever in center field. With Blackman on the bench and Frenchie Cordero standing in. Cordero batting in the cleanup spot today for the Padres. And trying to bunt his way on with a shift. And Walters falling out of the box there. He went down from in behind the dish, but it goes foul anyway. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Rookie Romper Room. Remember the show Romper Room for kids?
Yes.
Well, we got some kids in the lineup. Hey, have a day in the big leagues. Make a difference. And also more of the same for Jordan. He did extremely well against the Redbirds. 5 solid innings, only 1 earned run. He struck out 6. Carry that over from his bullpen work to his last start into this afternoon.
Fouls it off the catcher Walters, and it's 0-2 here to Frenchie Cordero with 1 out, 2 runs in. 261, 6 homers, 17 runs batted in into his 31st game of the year. Grounds it foul outside of third by Glenn Hoffman. Bouncing into the dirt, 1-2. Beautiful day today in San Diego for game 2 of this brief 2-game series against the Rockies and the end of the homestand. As the Padres after the game will be flying to Pittsburgh. Again, a lengthy road trip, Pittsburgh, Washington, and LA.
Yeah, day off tomorrow in Pittsburgh. And I understand that my guys, who I love dearly, those guys in the bullpen, right? I got to give them some love. They're going to get together for a little golf. And I guess that Shanks Yates, Kirby Yates, he's got to watch out for the Shanks in the bunkers. He's better bring the suntan lotion because he's going to spend a lot of time in the sand, I hear. Feeling like at home in Hawaii.
On the ground of the backhand, Vallejo at first base will flip to Marquez, and it's just in time. Cordero thinks he beat it and wants Andy Green to challenge. We'll get another look here in this bang-bang play at first base.
Well, I cringe every time a runner dives head first, any base. And this one right here, let's check it out. How quick. Oh, that is close. Franchi goes for the foul side of first base. I think he's safe.
I think he may be safe. I got safe. Well, they're not going to challenge. Apparently not safe. At least that's what they think.
I'm just glad Franchi is okay. I mean, you're talking fingers, wrist, elbows. Maybe too close to call to waste a challenge this early, maybe?
3-1 on the put out at first base. 2 down in the inning.
And this is the way I'm just looking at it, right? You got the 2-0 lead. It's only the first inning. Maybe too close to call. Just a thought.
And Franmil Reyes last night making his major league debut, and now his second game, and trying to get that first major league hit out of the way. He fouls it off, finds himself down 0-2. 14 home runs at the time of his recall. 22-year-old sitting at 346. Those 14 home runs and 38 runs batted in. 36 games with the El Paso Chihuahuas.
I'd like to see Franmil drive something to the opposite field. We mentioned it yesterday that the video we saw as a Chihuahua, home runs to the opposite field, big time.
On the ground left side, deep short. Story's got a long throw, and he'll get it there in time. But Eric Hosmer with a 2-run home run, his 6th home run of the year. RBIs 15 and 16. Give the Padres a 2-0 advantage. Hosmer takes it out of the yard. 2-0 Padres at the end of 1. Petco Park, and a good start to the day for the Padres, on top 2-0 as we head to inning number 2 and to the return to the hill for Jordan Lyles, who had a 1-2-3 first inning on 9 pitches, struck out 2 and got a pop out, and deals with Carlos Gonzalez to begin things here in the second inning. Cargo was not in the lineup last night, back in there today, And great numbers against Jordan Lyles. Big reason that he is in the lineup today, and that pitch in there for a strike.
I think Jordan Lyles is on a mission this afternoon, Don. The way he's going after these hitters.
And much more aggressive, I would say, today. See what kind of adjustments the Rockies make as the day goes on.
The fastball's got some life to it. The breaking ball, the curveball, has got some serious snap.
Ground ball to first base. Hosmer will take it himself to the bag. He had been 7 for 13 against Lyles, but grounds out here. Well, Trevor Story coming up here for the Rockies. Time for the Kia drive to success. MLB leaders total bases among shortstops. Trevor Story fourth in that category at 77. It's ahead of Carlos Correa, the Houston Astros. Lindor, Gregorius, and Cabrera ahead of him.
Yeah, going into this game, 150 at bats, 10 home runs. There's a punchy in there, but I've said this all along. If you're a guy who's going to hit 25 to 30, maybe more than that, yeah, you're going to have strikeouts, especially this day and age. Give me some pop. Give me the 2-run shot once in a while. 3-run shot.
So 2 multi-home run games already this year, and sends this down the right field line towards foul ground and the seats.
You know, I know we use him as an example, and he recently signed with the Washington Nationals. But remember Mark Reynolds, who was a Rocky, Diamondback.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna. That year he hit like 44 home runs, but he punched out like 200 sometimes.
Comes with the territory.
I'll take that.
In the dirt outside, blocked by Lopez, and it's 2-2.
Last outing for Jordan Lyles against the Cardinals, he threw 23 curveballs, 5 swings and misses, 5 called strikes, and that's a good thing. Ahead in the zone, bounce it, swing and a miss. Early in the count, throw it for a called strike. That's good.
Swing and a miss, and able to strike out Trevor Story. 3rd strikeout for Jordan Lyles. 2 down here in the 2nd inning.
That's the old number 2. He got Dahl to start the game, and he gets on top of that, and he lets it rip.
That's a 12-6.
Yes, it is. It's almost like a spike curveball almost. Looks like that index finger is up on that baseball, on that ball to get up and over that middle finger to get that tight rotation.
2 down here in the 2nd inning. Brings up Pat Valleca. He will pop it up, headed towards the seats. Foul and out of play. Valleca back from AAA, 119 average. No homers and a run batted in into his 30th game of the year.
Little cutter. We've seen the slider, the cutter, the curveball, the fastball.
Chop to 3rd on the backhand for Villanueva. His throw is good, and the inning is over. Lyles has retired the first 6. Padres have a 2-0 lead.
A few roster moves to tell you guys about. Joey Lucchese to the 10-day DL with a right hip strain. And really, this is his lower body inflammation a little bit there in his groin. And he's been feeling it in his last start, in his glutes. He felt it in his last start. He said it got progressively worse as the game went on. So they're going to be precautionary with him. They recalled Carlos Asuaje just about 24 hours after he was optioned in AAA El Paso. He hadn't even gotten on a flight that was scheduled for today. Instead, he was at home in his apartment packing it up, and Andy Green called and said, hey, what are you doing? Want to come back to the park tomorrow? And so he is back with the big club just about 24 hours after he was optioned off. And that just tells you, Don Mudd, this game is weird, right? You just never know what's going to happen.
That's pretty incredible. I mean, especially for the guys who go up and down all the time, the Kevin Quackenbushes and some of those guys had over the years, and it is tough. But for Carlos, not even out of here yet.
I think that's the quickest send down and recall that I can recall ever in the years I've been in baseball.
That's pretty fast.
Yes.
You haven't even left your San Diego apartment yet.
Hey, that's what you sign up for, right? Packing, unpacking, flights, AAA big leagues. The main thing you got to keep, though, is the good attitude, positive attitude.
Rafi Lopez fouling it off to the left out of play. Suaje back with the club. He's taking ground balls at third base today, and it was the intention. Sounded like for him to go play some third base down in El Paso when he was sent out yesterday. So we may see him get some time at third base. Really only been able to play second base, and that's been part of the problem, as the Padres really need guys with versatility, and Pirela moving from left field to second base with the crowded outfield. This is to left center field, and it's going to fall in between Dahl and Parra, and Lopez is aboard. Dahl had the look of a guy who was not going after that baseball, and perhaps thinking Parra was going to be there, and he kind of pulled up a little bit.
Off the left-handed bat of Lopez, I was ready to mark 7 in my scorebook as we take a look. Barrel out in front underneath that pitch, all upper body. And you know what, as a pitcher, that's got to be frustrating. That's a ball that I think that's got to be caught.
Ball was in the air a long time. So Marquez kind of frustrated with his defense. Here's a grounder through the right side. Just did elude Lopez, and there's a base hit for Villanueva. Taking it the other way. First two have reached here for the Padres.
Well, hopefully the hits come in bunches for Christian Villanueva after that slump that he had. He singled last night in the 4th inning, and as a base runner, you got to watch out. Keep it on that baseball. It might take a funny hop. If it hits Lopez, he is out. How close was it? Shuffle, shuffle. Here it is. It's behind him. All is good.
First and second, nobody out here in the Padres' second inning, and brings up Freddie Galvis.
Hey, hopefully the Padres can take advantage of the frustration from Marquez and that ball off the bat of Lopez. It should have been caught. Some guys let that linger. Do you have to let it linger? Got to forget about it.
Freddie Galvis last night, a home run shy of hitting for the cycle. His first 3-hit game in a Padres uniform. He and Jose Pirela have now started the most games of anyone in the majors this year. Both have now started 44 games. This one fouled off down the left field line, out of play.
Well, the one thing about Marquez, already throwing 32 pitches, he's now throwing the breaking balls for strikes. He's relying heavily on the fastball. And as a hitter, you take a look this season, the ERA, opponent's batting average, and his whip.
First inning has been a problem, and it was today.
Walks and hits combined per innings pitched. There's another breaking ball. You know, Mark Sweeney talks about it all the time. You start eliminating pitches. You can't throw the breaker for a strike. Spit on it. Let it go. Look for the heater. Damage on the heater. It's the name of my new band. Damage on the heater.
Line to left, Parra is there, and he makes the catch. Out of the general neighborhood, fires back to second base. As Galvis hits it sharply, but right at Parra. One down here in the second inning.
Yeah, the right idea. Hit it where it was pitched, and it was a fastball.
Interesting here, Bud Black coming in and talking to Marquez. A visit here at the mound, not the pitching coach. It is the manager. And you want to talk to everybody.
I've seen Buddy do this many times in his managerial days. He just wants to make the point that everybody's on the same page. One out, Lyles at the plate. If he chooses to swing and it's a ground ball somewhere, if he chooses to bunt, he just wants to make sure every single player on that infield of the diamond knows exactly what is going on, what he wants. Arenado already at third base anticipating a bunt. Will they put on the wheel play to try to get that lead runner, the force at third? Stay tuned.
Lyles has had only 2 plate appearances on the year, and he is 0 for 2. His 8th major league season, a 132 hitter in his career, and squaring. Pulls it back and takes ball 1.
Usually for a pitcher, when you're going to square to bunt, you want to have that bat at the top of the strike zone. That's a legitimate strike. Anything above that, you pull back. Anything below that, try to soften the ball out in front of home plate, advance those runners.
Gets it down. It is a fair ball. They're going to third. Get the force out there to first. Double play. And it ends the inning. It looked to be a promising inning for the Padres. They don't score, but take a 2-0 lead to the third. Jose Bautista, the longtime Toronto Blue Jay, is now in an Atlanta Braves uniform. Hit a 3-run home run yesterday, part of a 6-5 win against the Cubs. Andrew Haney striking out double figures, 10 for the Angels in Anaheim last night, part of a Angels 2-1 win against the Houston Astros. And Tyler Saladino hitting inside the park home run as Pollock injures himself on that play out there in center field. And Saladino comes all the way around as the Brewers win that 7-2 over the Diamondbacks, who have run into some tough trouble now lately. As we look at the top records in the National League, I don't think anybody expected the Braves to be as good as they are so far. They're for real, 25-15. The Brewers at 25-17. The Phillies also a surprise. Diamondbacks started hot but have slowed up, and we just saw the Cardinals.
I would have lost that bet.
Yes, no question.
Is the bloom going to come off that Atlanta Braves rose? Well, how are they doing it? Starting pitching, they're 4th in the National League, 3.5. Their bullpen's almost 3.5. Their #1 team hitting in the league at 269. So from all aspects, they're kicking on all cylinders.
Tony Walters leading it off and taking strike 1 from Jordan Lyles.
Going into today, the Braves' identical record on the road and versus the East, which could be tough. 17-8.
Popped up, sending Freddie Galvis to the short lawn and left. He'll make the catch for the first out of the third inning. Time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
Who doesn't love trivia?
Twelve rookies have played for the Padres this season. What is the Padres record for most rookies used in a single season? Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia. Get you the answer shortly as Daniel Castro hit a home run here last night. Back in the lineup today at second base. In the absence of DJ LeMahieu on the DL with a sprained thumb.
You know, I was just thinking that trivia question.
You love trivia.
That's like just under half the roster.
True.
There's one of them. Franmil.
0-2 pitch coming up to Castro. And he gets just a piece. Very defensive swing there. German Marquez waiting on deck for the Rockies here as they bat in the top of the third inning. Padres on the benefit of a 2-run shot by Eric Hosmer. Have the 2-0 lead. And protecting the plate again is Castro. There is Marquez. Rockies batting in the top of the third inning. That home run last night, the first for Castro since October of 2015. He was a member of the Atlanta Braves. That front foot is almost out of the box.
I was just thinking the same thing, but it looks like that front foot, it's the inside part of that chalk line, correct?
Yes.
And it looks like his toe was just on the inside of that.
Miles elevating and picking up his 4th K, 2 down.
We've seen this pitch many, many times.
Wow, that's up by the bill of his helmet.
Yes, it is. Try getting on top of that 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Good luck.
Now 2 down here in the third, 8 in a row retired by Lyles, and here is German Marquez.
Lyles has gotten strikeouts, 4 all told, with the fastball, the curveball, and the slider. 2 with the curveball.
First pitch strikes to 8 of 9 so far. So getting ahead. And looking very good today. Swing and a miss, and Marquez strikes out. 5 strikeouts for Lyles. He's retired the first 9. 2-0 Padres.
.4 hits on what? The fastball. They are hunting the fastball, and they've got the hot shillelaghs working today, using the whole field. The big shot The 2-run shot off the bat of Eric Hosmer. He is not throwing the breaky balls for strikes. He's trying to rely on location of the fastball. The Padres are just capitalizing on that. And when you don't throw the breaky ball over for strikes, these hitters just spit on it. They say next. They get the fastball and they do some damage. Hence the score, Donnie. 2-0 Friars.
And it's on to the bottom of the 3rd inning and the top of the order again. Second time through here against Marquez. Travis Jankowski, you just saw with a base hit in the 1st inning. Takes strike 1. It'll be Jankowski, Hosmer, and Perella expected here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ten straight games that Jankowski has now reached base safely. 486 on base percentage, walking 6 times. So he's doing what you really would like your leadoff hitter to do, and that's get on base. Big key.
Yeah, and how do you do that? You got good command of the strike zone with more reps. Travis Jankowski knows certain pitchers, does his homework to see what pitches are working for that particular pitcher that day. Good layoff there, and look at that, working the count to 3-1. Setting it up for Eric Hosmer.
Outside ball 4, and speaking of walks, Travis Jankowski gets the first one of the day from Marquez. It's time for the top tier play brought to you by Arco, and it's the 2-run home run by Eric Hosmer in the 1st inning. Out to right center field.
Fastball in. Launch angle.
Hosmer rips it up the middle on the ground into center field. Jankowski headed for 3rd base. He'll get there without a problem. And the Padres have it going here in the 3rd, 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
I love 1st and 3rd action. Leadoff hitter Jankowski gets on. Okay, what's great about the base hit or the walk? You can utilize that speed. As soon as this ball was struck, Travis knows that Dahl has got to go to his left to cover some ground, and he goes into 3rd base easily. Another fastball spanked to center for a base hit.
1st and 3rd, nobody out, and Jose Perella coming up. Play for him to go the other way. Dahl, the center fielder, over towards right center. Perella getting his 2nd look at Marquez. Grounded out to the shortstop, Trevor Story, in the 1st inning. Wind has picked up here, going from left to right across the outfield. Look out, Perella almost dove into that. He's kind of swirling here in the ballpark. Actually was blowing in a moment ago.
Thanks for that weather report, Jim Cantori.
2-0 pitch coming up here to Perella.
What's the barometric pressure?
Throw to first, and back is Hosmer.
You were right on one thing. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky.
That's right. You think I just make that stuff up?
Crystal
every day?
clear. It's absolutely gorgeous downtown San Diego right now.
Jammed, and a pop-up right side of the infield. And the 2nd baseman, Castro, for out number 1. We'll have the answer to one of your favorite things. It's time now for the answer to our Valley View Casino trivia question.
Yes.
We love trivia. 12 rookies have played for the Padres this season. What is the Padres record? Most rookies used in a single season. Answer is 25, done twice. Their first year, 1969 and 2002.
Wow.
That's a lot of rookies.
It's a lot of paperwork.
1st and 3rd, 1 down. And Franchi Cordero. Cordero grounded out to 1st base in the 1st inning. Second time through here for the Padres against German Marquez.
Well, working the count, Franchi has got to hunt that fastball, do some damage with that. We've heard it all along. Marquez cannot throw the breaking ball for a strike.
Look out, that goes flying off the netting beyond the Padres dugout.
And that's why you put netting up. Good launch angle on that. I wonder what the exit velocity was on that bat right there.
Go to first, and diving back is Hosmer safely. Foul tip glancing off of Walters, and he is in some pain. He had a concussion here last year. He's had some tough times here returning home to San Diego.
That's why you wear a cup.
Of course, Yadier Molina just having surgery.
Yes.
After being hit last week, and it missed better than a month for the Cardinals.
See home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt kind of giving Tony some time there.
One-two pitch coming up to Franchi Cordero. Throw to first, and Hosmer this time just crosses over to get back to the bag. There's already action for the Rockies in the pen. Maybe a quick leash today here, short leash today for Bud Black. Chris Russin is up in the pen. Starting to stop at first for Hosmer, and he's got to get back, and he just does.
That's a good play. Even though Hosmer gets back safely, might keep that runner maybe a step closer to that first base bag. So Walters out of the crouch. And the snap throw down to first base.
Jolts it foul down the left field line, out of play. 50 pitches already for Marquez through 2 1/3 innings. Padres trying to add on to a 2-0 advantage with 2 on here in the third.
And only one called strike on a breaking ball this afternoon up to this point for Marquez.
Going hard, 96. Low throw dug out nicely by Valleca. Bailed out Marquez there.
Hey, good thing here for San Diego. Got that speed, Travis Jankowski at third base. A ball in the dirt. He gets a good secondary lead. That's a run.
Good at bat here, fouling off yet another. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up here for Franchi Cordero.
Want to peek in, get some signs?
Sure.
Tony Walters checking the scouting report. Fastball away. Curveball. Maybe he'll bounce it.
Swing and a miss, goes around and strikes out. Lengthy battle, but Marquez gets Cordero to strike out. First K of the day for Marquez. And there are 2 outs here in the third inning.
Nice smother and recover by Tony Walters on that curveball down by the back foot. You know, every time a pitcher throws a purpose pitch, especially with 2 strikes, you aim for part of the hitter or the catcher, whether it's the knee guard, whether it's the back foot. We talked a lot about righty on lefty with that breaking ball. That's exactly what he did there for that strikeout.
Well, Padres got the first 2 on a walk by Jankowski, a single by Hosmer. But they're still at first and third with now 2 down. And here's Franmil Reyes. who takes strike one.
Let's see if that's the only fastball that Reyes gets this at bat. That was a pretty hittable pitch.
Grounded out to short in the first inning. And goes after that pitch, down 0-2. So a fastball and a breaking ball. Has him down 0-2.
What are you guessing here? Either fastball up out of the zone or another wrinkle, right?
I think another wrinkle maybe, based on what we just saw.
Yep. Or if it's a fastball, it's going to be up and out of the zone somewhere.
In the dirt, taken off was Hosmer, and he'll get to second base. Stolen base for Eric Hosmer.
Let's check out the jump. Leg kick. He is off and running. He picked a good one to go on. There's the flash look.
Double flash look.
Yep.
Doubled up.
Why not?
Second and third, 2 down. Reyes here with a chance to add on to 2-0 Padres advantage. And that is strike 3. Reyes stranded there. 2 runners to end the inning. 2-0 Padres at the end of 3.
For heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
4th inning back at Petco Park in San Diego on a beautiful day, the finale of the homestand, and Jordan Lyles back out on the hill dealing with David Dahl. First pitch swinging, sends one out to shallow center, and Travis Jankowski comes in to handle out number 1. Jordan Lyles retired the first 10 that he's faced. We welcome in, as always, Mark Sweeney. And Mark looking pretty good today so far.
Yeah, he does. We talked about the in-between pitches, him speeding it up a little bit, but obviously Andy would like to see his curveball today, which we already alluded to. I think you're seeing both of those, seeing good tempo from Jordan Lyles, but also the strike throwing. It always helps you, I'm sure, getting into that.
Right from the get-go, Mark. I mean, it was pounding that zone with the fastball.
In there for a strike to Gerardo Parra. Big part of last night's win for the Rockies. Showed a 3-run home run. And last 4 games, man, heating it up. 429. On the ground up the middle, Galvis will range and throw, sidearmed and in time. Nice play by Freddie Galvis. What range, 2 down.
Here's another reason why pitchers should pound the zone and let him hit the ball on the ground. Why? Number 13, Freddie Galvis, 2 hands out in front. The flip throw gets him by a full step. Oh, Freddie. He's fun to watch, isn't he?
11 in a row retired by Lyles to begin his outing. And it brings up Nolan Arenado, who struck out swinging in the first inning.
Started seeing these Rockies take the aggressive approach and swing at that first pitch because he's pounding the zone. You can't wait, especially when a pitcher has an out pitch and they've already shown it early in the game. That's how you defend it. You start getting after the fastball.
Yeah, he's working it. That 4-seam fastball, 17 he's thrown, 9 called strikes.
Fouled off down the right field line out of play. He's ahead 0-2.
I think a lot of it has to do with the cutting action of his fastball as well. You go 4-seamer, but that cutter, you can't pick up that rotation. It really gets after off the barrel, which is really important pitch.
On the ground at third, Villanueva backed up on it. He's got a long throw, and he'll get it there in time. Jordan Lyles has retired the first 12 6-pitch innings. 2-0 Padres.
Is thinking about winning. He's not thinking about his own personal glory or things like that. He's thinking about what is the best thing I can do to get on base to set the table for this team to tie a baseball game and win a baseball game. He's passionate about winning. One of the reasons we love having him, and I think it's probably really demonstrated in that moment yesterday.
And that was Andy Green talking about his shortstop, Freddie Galvis. And Galvis was in a unique situation last night. He was a home run shy of the cycle. He came up to bat in the 9th inning and he elected to bunt. This was not Andy's decision. This was Freddie's decision. And I talked to Freddie about it today. He said he was very aware of the cycle, but he said in that situation, he shook his head. He said there's no way he was going to go up there and give it 3 hacks. He said he was going to try to get on base for his team, get a rally going. Team first mentality, and that's not just big for Freddie. It says a lot about him, but it says a lot to the dugout, that dugout full of guys that is watching him do that, to go with that team first attitude, that culture that they're trying to build here with the Padres. Guys?
All right, Danny, thanks very much. As Rafi Lopez will take strike 2, and it's 1-2. And that really was something last night to see that take place and realizing what the situation was and knowing he needed to get on base to give them a chance to bring the tying run to the plate.
Yeah, it's
you
refreshing.
touched upon in the pregame show.
Yeah, it's refreshing to be an unselfish player, and especially this day and age. I know they want to do their individual exploits, especially the home run. It's the 3 result thing that we're talking about, strikeout, walk, or a home run. When it comes down to it, Freddie Galvis is as advertised. You talk to anyone around baseball that's been around Freddie Galvis, and that's the first thing they talk about. This is a team first guy. He's a spectacular defender, but he'll give you clutch hitting, and he'll give you the thought process that you have to do to go out there and win ball games.
This one foul back to the screen, and it's 2-2. You talk about winning players, and he's one of those guys that just have it. You either have it or you don't, I think, in some ways. And He certainly has it.
I think there's a lot of people that don't understand too that you start thinking about going out there and facing a closer in Wade Davis. There's a lot of uncomfortable at bats that you have throughout the league. So individually, you might be walking up to the plate saying, I haven't ever seen his release point. I haven't picked up a lot of his pitches. So this might be my best chance.
This one down the left field line. Parra towards the line on a slant. Will get there for out number 1 of the 4th inning as Rafi Lopez is retired.
If you look at that scenario and keep going back to it, there was a lot that could go wrong on the defensive side. They defended it perfectly. But for Freddie Galvis, it's really an opportunity. If he hits a home run, yes, he gets the cycle, but they're still down 1. It doesn't mean anything.
Christian Villanueva is 1 for 1, single to right field in the 2nd inning. He's 1 of 5 Padres hits today.
They're really trying to pound him in. He did a nice job of forcing that ball the opposite way for that single in the 2nd inning. It doesn't have to be pretty, does it, Mark? I mean, a knock's a knock.
Yeah, a knock's a knock, and when they're pounding you in, you still have to look for your strength. That's the difference when you start maturing and getting experience at this level.
It just amazes me each and every game of baseball that I watch through the years how hitters can react.
Strikeout number 3 for Marquez as Villanueva goes lunging after that. Strikes out. 2 down. That brings up Freddie Galvis. 2 down. Galvis lined out to the left fielder Gerardo Parra. In the 2nd inning, getting his 2nd look today at Marquez. Last 3 games, 5 for his last 11.
Mark, I know one of the things that you like to preach about eliminating pitches, right? And we have the technology where we can find out pitches being thrown.
A liner to left, and again Parra's there. Same result.
Marquez has yet to throw a breaking ball for a called strike. Wow.
2-0 Padres. Their second baseman, Robinson Cano, suspended 80 games for violating MLB's joint drug agreement. Of course, on the DL right now, the fractured hand, but when he is ready to be activated, he'll begin to serve that 80-game suspension, and really a very big surprise coming out of Seattle today.
I don't understand it. Here's my. If I'm playing today, do these players, do they get a pamphlet on all the stuff that you can't take or try to? And I know there's going to guys that are going to try to beat the system. It's just inevitable, right? But I don't care if I'm taking Flintstone vitamins. I'm gonna look on the label and go to my player rep or go to Major League Baseball and say, hey, am I able to take this?
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
It's disappointing for me, but you think about the other 24 guys plus the coaches, they're disappointed, and you let them down. That really bothers me, because if they go to the playoffs this year, he's not playing in those playoffs, let alone the 80 games he's suspended for.
Do you think it's too light of a punishment?
I do.
What do you think it should be?
Listen, I'm not a GM.
No, I know, but everybody's got an opinion.
Has to make those decisions. I'd be okay with a year suspension the rest of the year for sure. But it's that's when you start going into labor talks and what they're trying to do for the suspensions. Who knows what goes into that?
19 straight strikes thrown by Jordan Lyles. And there's a ball, just as I said.
Way to go.
It's my fault.
Well, yeah, you did. Oh. You ended up throwing that pitch. You know that.
1-2.
Jinx.
Still pretty good, though. 19 of the last 20 pitches have been strikes.
Yeah, watch this one. See if you're throwing this or Jordan is.
Yeah, that's ball 2. 2-2.
Ball 2 on Donnie.
Carlos Gonzalez 0 for 1 in the game, grounded out to first base in the second. And a swing and a miss, comes back to strike out Cargo. First out of the 5th inning. That's 6 strikeouts for Jordan Lyles.
Went to the number 2, the breaking ball, the curve ball. Oh, that's a hard curve ball right there. See, out of the hand, how it goes straight towards just above the belt buckle. It's not one of those that has a hump in it, a big loop in it. Easier for a hitter to pick up.
One down here in the 5th, and it brings up Trevor Story. Struck out swinging in the second inning. 0 for 1. Last 7 games hitting at .292. And a check swing foul into the Padres dugout.
That got somebody, I think. Get JJ?
Yep.
Watch out, Josh.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Story away, and Story chases away and strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Jordan Lyles. Got 7, and Story for the second time is down by way of the K.
In the second inning, curveball got him. Swinging and missing. In the 5th inning here, fastball, same old story. Strikeout.
2 down here in the 5th, and it brings up Pat Valleca. Of 15 first pitch strikes for Jordan Lyles. This is a breakdown for Lyles. Just 6 pitches to get through the 4th inning. Fly out, 2 ground outs.
You know, I get the impression, guys, that Jordan Lyles, we hear this phrase all the time: trust your stuff. Make them hit your stuff, and that's exactly what he's doing this afternoon.
And he's not overthinking it, because when you have that pacing in between pitches, you have to get it and go.
Look, that's a hitter's count, 2-1, and he brought the cheese. Here it is.
His pace today far quicker than what we've seen in the past.
And I love that, because it's really aggressive, but also from the hitter's perspective, it's uncomfortable.
Full count.
You know, as hitters, we always try to slow everything down. If you have a slower pace, it's a lot easier for you to start thinking about your thoughts. Then you get in the box and it's free and clear. The guy's going quickly, and he is throwing fastballs in strike 1 You're on the defense.
Got a piece to stay alive. This is the first 3-ball count for Jordan Lyles of his outing here today. Look at the breakdown of the first 52 pitches that he has thrown. 39 for strikes, 13 for balls.
I say try to pump a fastball down and away. Oh, he shook off. Slider. Cutter.
Fouled it off.
Looked like a cutter, huh?
Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up here. It's been a battle. Lyles and Valleca. Valleca just called back up again. Valleca pops it up. Foul ground. Rafi Lopez coming back, but he won't have a play.
That gentleman tried to make the catch. He did not catch it cleanly, but he's gone home with the big league baseball. Peace to you. Peace and love.
Payoff pitch again. And a grounder to third base. Villanueva's got the throw, and it's there in time. A 1-2-3 fifth. We're halfway through. 2-0 Padres. By SeaWorld. Dolphin is today's word of the game. Head to foxsportssandiego.com and click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. By Jack in the Box. This season, Padres home run score free Jumbo Jacks only at Jack in the Box. And by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. It's on to the last of the 5th inning, and Jordan Lyles leading it off here for San Diego. Got it into a double play in the 2nd inning. Look out. Bat goes flying here. Back to the screen again. So French and Cordero do it earlier, and now Jordan Lyles losing the handle down 0-2. '75th pitch coming up here for Marquez. And it's fouled off, getting a piece of Walters again. Six in a row retired by Marquez. Kind of settled down here through the middle innings. 2-2. 3 strikeouts for Marquez. He's walked one, and the only blemish, a 2-run shot by Hosmer in the first inning. Now he strikes out Lyles. 4th strikeout for Marquez. 1 down in the 5th. Time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Always fascinates me the adjustments you make in the game. You look at Travis Jankowski last year, a lot of moving parts. Also the leg kick. Simplify it in 2018. Goes down to AAA, comes up, and he has been an impact player because of that simple approach. Leg kick is not always the answer to everybody, and a vanilla approach, and you see Travis Jankowski, he has been excellent in the leadoff spot.
You know, it makes sense when you simplify it like that. Starts from the ground up, almost like an infielder taking grounders, right?
Yeah, and if you have a lot of timing aspects to it, very difficult to sync up. And with Travis Jankowski not getting everyday at bats, it even makes it harder. When you think about the setup and how the dynamic is, it's really a simplified approach. See, the hands are away from the shoulder. Now he's starting to rest it a little bit, so he knows where those hands are launching from. When he starts setting up, he knows exactly it's going to be pitch to pitch.
Line to center, and coming in is Dahl. Plays it on a hop, trapped it out there, and knocked it down anyway. And Jankowski's on for the 3rd time today, his 2nd hit.
You know, when you have simplified approach, you can be short to the baseball. That's what Travis Jankowski's taught himself, that he can just get the barrel to the baseball. Pulls his hands in nicely. Watch the barrel, gets to it, he slices this to center, and it dumps in for a single. But it's the consistency you're starting to see from his approach that really is a weapon.
Runner goes, and Hosmer takes pitch outside, throw down. He's going to skip into center. Jankowski will stay right where he is. Just quickly getting to it is Dahl. Stolen base for Travis Jankowski.
You know, I'm going to take you back a while. 1991, I was fortunate enough to be with the Atlanta Braves. We had a leadoff hitter by the name of Otis Nixon. And the old joke was, when he got on first base via a walk or a base hit, everybody would yell in the dugout, "That's a double," meaning he was going to be 90 feet at second base. And it's an automatic, not automatic, but chances are, guy in scoring position when that guy gets on. And that's one of the luxuries Travis Jankowski has.
Yeah, and he's starting to feel it too. And when you get confidence, then you start getting base running involved. It's a dangerous weapon, and it really impacts everything. Marquez starts quickening up. You're starting to get fastballs for the guy behind him. That's a good scenario for your offense.
On the ground to second base, Castro looks the runner to third and fires to first base to get Hosmer. As Jankowski takes third base on the grounder to the right side. 90 feet away now with 2 down. I'm going to bring up Jose Pirello, 0 for 2. He's grounded out to short and popped out to second base, getting his 3rd look at Marquez here today. Shoots it foul off to the right, 0-2. Lyles struck out to begin the inning. Jankowski singled to center, stole second, and would take third on the ground out to the right side by Hosmer. 0-2 pitch coming up. And Perella strikes out. The high fastball at 97. Reaching back for a little extra was Marquez. We head to the 6th, 2-0 Padres. For Jordan Lyles so far, through the first 5, he has been perfect in this game and has struck out 7 along the way. He has been incredible. The only blemish on the other side for German Marquez, the 2-run home run by Eric Hosmer in the first inning. The difference in the game, the Padres are on top 2-0 as we move to the 6th inning. And Tony Walters leading it off and grounding one to second base. Perella will go to first for out number 1 of the 6th inning. So Walters retired, had popped out to short in the 3rd. Now he grounds out to second base.
Jordan Lyles is putting on a clinic. He's doing everything a pitcher is supposed to be doing. He pounded the zone with all of his pitches, expanding that strike zone when he's ahead.
He's retired the first 16 in a row, 7 by way of the K. And now we'll deal with Daniel Castro. Pinch hitter has come out on deck for Marquez. Well, Cuevas has come out. That is strike 2.
He has got that release point down to perfection today.
There's Cuevas waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 8 for Jordan Lyles. 2 down in the 6th inning. Second time Castro's down by way of the K.
What's the best pitch in baseball? Obviously a well-located strike, but I tell you what, peppering away that outside corner to righties. Jordan Lyles is locked in. Up on top, getting extended, being aggressive.
Cuevas, who started in last night's game, pinch hitting here for the pitcher and taking strike 1. German Marquez goes the first 5 innings. Gives up 6 hits and 2 runs. There's a grounder by the mound softly towards second. Perella will go to first for the out. Jordan Lyles is perfect through 6 innings today in San Diego. 2-0 Padres. 2-0. Padres have lead over the Rockies as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Franchi Cordero, Franmil Reyes, and Rafi Lopez expected here in the bottom of the 6th. On top 2-0 as new pitcher on for the Rockies, Chris Russin, who had been warming in the pen, takes over here in the 6th.
Well, we've seen Chris Russin, the left-hander, as a starter, now as a reliever. 95 relief appearances with the Rocks. He's got a nice record, nice ERA. 8-2 with a 2.87. Second lowest ERA in Rockies reliever history. So he's throwing the ball extremely well.
Marquez really settled down after he had given up a base hit to Jankowski and the 2-run home run to Hosmer, the first 2 hitters he faced in the game, and then shut down the Padres the rest of the way in his 5-inning effort.
It was almost like he was teetering on the brink of making a change earlier in the game for Buddy Black. He righted the ship, and the Padres have to add on to this lead.
Russin, kind of a short armor. What I mean by that, he kind of takes that ball out of his glove and goes right up from the ear, kind of a snap thrower. Almost like a quarterback going back in the pocket and bang, getting rid of it quickly.
Yeah, almost like a Jim Zorn.
Nice. Number 10, right?
Yep, sorry about the Seahawk reference.
Line foul down the first base line.
Sea Chickens?
He was my favorite by far. Ken Stabler, I'm out.
The snake.
Jim Zorn, I'm in. Zorn to large.
Swing and a miss, and Cordero strikes out.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Padres app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Padres home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
One down in the 6th inning brings up Franmil Reyes. 0 for 2 today, has grounded out to short and struck out looking. Reyes lines it into center field for a base hit. His first major league hit, Franmil Reyes. And his family here to enjoy it along with him.
Looked like a high changeup. Stayed on it off the end of the bat. Congratulations, Franmil Reyes. First big league knock.
His mom and his cousin both here to witness it. That first major league hit. Nothing like it.
That's great.
So Manuel Margot pinch running for Franmil Reyes at first base. Smiles, get it. Finally got it after last night. Couldn't get it today in his first 2 at bats. Couldn't get it. Grounding out, striking out, but a solid single to center field. Margot aboard with 1 out, and Rafi Lopez waiting on an 0-1. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says third base umpire Larry Vanover.
Well, with 2 strikes, this sets in motion Manny Margot, the pinch runner. You got to be aggressive as we take a look at that check swing. Yes, he did. Manny Margot just being aggressive. We saw it from Travis Jankowski last inning. See if we see it here. Maybe a first movement.
in the dirt, and it's 1-2.
I think Russin was thinking right along with you there, Mark, because he did the old slide step quick pitch out of the stretch.
Christian Villanueva waiting on deck as the Padres bat here in the 6th.
This might be one of those situations, like Mark said, as a pitcher, you want to probably give him your A move if you choose to go over to first base.
Well, even that threat has disrupted Russin. As you can see, he quickened it up with the slide step, as you said, Mark, but also didn't be able to throw that breaking ball. Manny's in there for 2 reasons. One, as a base runner, but also defensively. Jordan Lyles doing his damage.
In the air to left field. Gerardo Parra settles underneath and handles out number 2. So 2 down. Margot at first, and it brings up Christian Villanueva. Singled in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 4th. Of course, all that was against German Marquez, now dealing with Chris Russin in his first inning of relief. Right-hander went first 5, now the lefty in.
Perfect scenario for Christian Villanueva. Come back with that home run power. Saw a 2-run shot by Eric Hosmer. Wouldn't be a bad scenario to get another one.
Villanueva to deep left field. High, deep, and very gone. 2-run shot for Christian Villanueva. Gets his 10th of the year. And the Padres up their lead to 4-0. Way to call it, Swing Dog.
Well, we saw it by Franmil Reyes, that high changeup. It's exactly what Christian Villanueva gets. Start hunting your strike zone, you're going to start doing damage. Elevated, but a nicer swing.
And remember, Marquez was trying to go inside to Villanueva, tying him up. That changeup caught too much of the plate, speeds up his bat. That was beautiful. Nice going, Karnak.
Two down and 2 runs in. Freddie Galvis down 0-1.
You got any good lottery numbers in you?
Yeah, I'm going to get a lottery ticket right after this game.
Give me 6 good numbers right now.
Rolls it over, foul.
I'll start with 55. Let's see, what else?
That was sweet.
Bounces in, deflecting off of Walters. So good to see for Christian Villanueva. Long stretch in between hits, 36 at bats without a hit. There's a hot shot to third. Caught in the air down there by Arenado. He's going to throw to first just to be sure, but that is out number 3. Christian Villanueva's hit a 2-run home run, and the Padres add on. Had a 2-run shot from Hosmer in the first. Now Villanueva, and it's 4-0 San Diego. To the 7th we go.
working. He is twirling a gem. One of the reasons is the old number 2, the curveball. He's thrown 13 of them, 5 swinging. He's getting ahead. He's getting the good rotation. As Don mentioned earlier, that's the old 12-6 curveball. Put the Rocky hitters on the defensive. 8 strikeouts this afternoon for the right-hander. And there is the breakdown. Heavy usage of that fastball, which he's pumping the zone. He's yet to walk a Rocky hitter. No Rocky hitter aboard base via a hit. He's got it working. He's been perfect.
18 in a row retired by Jordan Lyles to start the day. David Dahl, Gerardo Parra, and Nolan Arenado scheduled to bat in this inning. And Dahl 0 for 2 today, has struck out and flied out. And last time there was a perfect game, Felix Hernandez, August 15th of 2012 against the Rays. Foul back to the screen, still 0-2. And of course, the last time the Padres flirted with a no-hitter was Tyson Ross. 7 2/3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks in Arizona.
And he's doing a wonderful job with the pitch count. The next pitch will be number 67 here in the 7th.
Held it off, stays alive. Second start, 15th appearance. Swing and a miss, and Dahl strikes out. They got to throw him out, and they do. 9th strikeout of the day for Jordan Lyles, is out number 1 of the 7th inning.
Well, we just got done talking about the curveball. Why not throw another one for the strikeout? And credit Rafi Lopez. Smothering that one, recovering 2-3 for the putout.
One out here in the 7th, and here's Gerardo Parra. 0-4-2. He's popped out to short, grounded out to short. And both times Freddie Galvis up to the task. In the air to left field, playable for Franchi Cordero. Back a few steps, and there are 2 outs in the 7th inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 down in the 7th for Nolan Arenado. He has struck out and grounded out. Chopped off the plate down the third baseline, foul. .81 pitches for Lyles in his lone start. It was the loss against St. Louis last time out. Grounded to third as Villanueva fires to first base. 21 up, 21 down. Perfect through 7 is Jordan Lyles. 4-0 Padres. Leading it off is Jordan Lyles, as you might expect, as Lyles has retired 21 in a row to begin his outing today. Offensively, he's grounded into a double play and struck out. Ball and a strike here to Lyles. His pitch count at 72 through the first 7 innings. He has struck out 9 along the way. Chopped up the middle. Story on the high hop. Throws out Lyles for the first out of the 7th inning. Well, this summer, the 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event is just 30 days away, only on Fox and FS1. One down here in the 7th inning, and it brings up Travis Jankowski. In there for strike 1. Jankowski singled in the 1st and scored. Walked in the 3rd, singled in the 5th and stole a base. Rounds one down the first baseline. It is a fair ball. And Vallejo will tag the bag upon the arrival of Jankowski. 2 down. We'll bring up Eric Hosmer. Hosmer homered in the 1st, a 2-run shot. His 6th of the year. Singled, stole a base in the 3rd, and grounded out to 2nd in the 5th. Story, Castro, and Vallejo on the right side, shifting here on Eric Hosmer. Just came off a 4-game series, and for the first time Hosmer was not shifted on by the St. Louis Cardinals. High for ball 3, 3-0. Hosmer swinging 3-0 and fouling it off at a green light. Wilson changed up on him and he fouled it off. 3-1. Jose Pirello waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the bottom of the 7th. Ground ball foul outside of 1st. Well, Jankowski singled to begin the bottom of the 1st inning, and then Eric Hosmer stepped to the plate and drove out his 2nd. At Petco Park, gave the Padres a 2-0 advantage. We get another 2-run home run from Christian Villanueva, and it's 4-0. Now a swing and a miss, and Hosmer strikes out to end the 7th inning. We head to the 8th. 4-0 Padres.
Jordan Lyles, Mark.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable. Obviously, strike one has a lot to do with it. Fastball, curveball combination, as we have alluded to on the broadcast. He looks very comfortable, poised, and he looks strong going into this inning.
If you're one for line scores, I'll just tell you, 7 innings pitched, he has 9 strikeouts. That's really all you need to know right now. Mark and I working on Padres Live, the post-game show, brought to you by Cox Communications. We will see you, gentlemen, after the final out.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. A look at the line for Jordan Lyles as we head into the 8th, and Carlos Gonzalez to lead it off. 0 for 2 in the game, and a half-hearted swing there for strike one.
Still has the bite on that curveball.
Gonzalez today has grounded out to first and struck out swinging. 0 for 2. Fouls it off to the left out of play and down 0-2. They shift on Gonzalez here on the right side of the infield. And they bring their third baseman, Christian Villanueva, from the left side to the right side. They stack it up.
$19 of 22 first pitch strikes this afternoon for Jordan Lyles.
Gonzalez now, Story next. And a pitch away evens a count at 2-2. It's been good all day. 2-2. Swung on and missed, and he goes at the curveball to strike out Carlos Gonzalez. Strikeout number 10 for Jordan Lyles.
Arm slot is the same. Pitch is the same. Great rotation. Same result. That splits the heart of the plate. Perfectly placed by Jordan Lyles.
One out in the 8th inning, and it brings up Trevor Story. He has struck out twice in this game. Fouls it off to the right out of play. And swinging in the 2nd and swinging in the 5th. 10 strikeouts for Lyles, ties his career high, set June 12th, 2013, for Houston at the time at Seattle. Line to left, and that's going to get in for a base hit. Trevor Story breaks up the no-hit perfect game bid for Jordan Lyles. They will stand at Petco Park, the Friar faithful, to salute him. He retired the first 22 that he faced today.
Wanted to go with the fastball. Take that back. The breaking ball looked like a slider. Well, didn't really look like that bad of a pitch. On contact, maybe just above the knee. Great extension, though, by Trevor Story. And Jordan Lyles, after that base hit, realizes that he just gave up the first base runner first hit. I tell you what, though, that is one heck of an effort. The big leagues, big boy. Pitched his tail off. Still doing that. Hey, ground ball right here. Why not?
Fouled off down the right field line by Valleca. The last Padres starting pitcher to go 6+ perfect innings was Andrew Kashner. Went 6 in 2013 at Pittsburgh. Last to go longer than 6 was Chris Young, 7 2/3. Back in 2008, that was at Milwaukee.
You know, you get into that groove facing all those hitters. 22, and then on the 23rd hitter, you got to go from the stretch. It's a different feel. You are locked in. And yes, it's an adjustment right now to try to make that one good pitch to get a grounder. And keep an eye on the curveball too. Keep an eye on the location of the fastball. Does he still have the same location of the fastball? pinpoint control, and also does the curveball still have the break out of the stretch?
How good was his curveball all day?
Getting on top of it, throwing it with aggression.
Kirby Yates up in the pen. First action we have seen all day out there. Yates got up in last night's game but did not get in. Two and two. Blocked nicely by Lopez. Full count. Longest perfect game bid against the Rockies all time. Previous long had been 7 innings. Madison Bumgarner.
Don, you touched upon it. You know, the reason why.
Runner goes. That's ball 4. And down to first base goes Valleca.
You know, we talked about the curveball from Jordan Lyles prior to the game. Andy Green, the manager for the Padres, talked about it. Throwing it with aggressiveness. Attacking the zone. And that's a good afternoon in the big leagues for Jordan Lyles.
Well, he had retired 22 straight. Gives up a base hit to Trevor Story, who breaks it up. And Valleca walks. Jordan Lyles' afternoon, retiring the first 22 that he faced. 10 strikeouts. Just the one hit to Trevor Story, who broke it up after 7 1/3 perfect innings. Walked 1 and 10 strikeouts today, tying a career high for Jordan Lyles. He was on it right out of the get-go. Some very quick and easy innings, and then the first hit as Trevor Story on a breaking ball away just hooks it into left field and breaks up a chance for history here today. And as he departs, he is responsible for the runners at first and second. Story at second. Valleca at first. Finished with 85 pitches today. And hands it off to Kirby Yates. Tony Walters, the batter he will first face, with runners at first and second.
Well, Kirby's been throwing the ball extremely well. Time to shut it down here. Double play is in order. Aloha, Kirby Yates, 15th game. That's right. You see it right. .73 ERA, more strikeouts than innings pitched, and outstanding splits from the right-handed reliever.
More action in the pen for the Padres as Yates takes over here, the first reliever of the day. As Brad Hand, closer, is up with one down here in the 8th inning. Strike called, 2-1. He's becoming the fastest Padre to reach 100 strikeouts. Took him only 66 2/3 to hit the century mark. Runners on, opponents hitting at .071. Largely the reason he is in this game, inheriting 2 base runners right now with 1 out in the 8th. Fouled off, 2-2. A piece of Rafi Lopez on the way by. A professional courtesy here under Wintelstead, the home plate umpire, just walking out to hand the baseball off to Kirby Yates and give Rafi Lopez a little time. Swing and a miss, and Walters down to 1 knee on strike 3. Yates comes in and strikes out the first batter that he faces, 2 down.
Oh, yeah, Kirby Yates has got the good split finger fastball off the table. And you'll see this way out in front. Even though that pitch is right over the heart of the plate, I think he takes about 2 or 3 feet off and he swings right over the top of it.
So 2 down, 2 on, and we're going to get a pinch hitter. Charlie Blackmon was off today. Until now, he's coming up. So Blackmon off the bench, started the first game of the series in his normal leadoff spot. And a pinch hit here with 2 on and 2 down. And here comes Andy Green with the introduction of Charlie Blackmon. Had Brad Hand in the pen, and he's going to make the change to get him. Pitching change from Petco Park with 2 down in the 8th inning, 4-0 Padres. Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by SeaWorld. Dolphin is today's word of the game. Head to foxsportssandiego.com and click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. By your San Diego Honda dealers. Visit us at sdhondadealers.com. And by Petco, the pet company. 2 down in the 8th inning as Jordan Lyles and Kirby Yates have both pitched in this game. As Lyles goes 7 1/3, Yates pitched a third, and now looking for 4 outs is Brad Hand. He comes in a save situation now with the tying run on deck.
We've seen this situation before. Brad Hand, very used to it. The slider recently has been nasty.
That was it for strike one. Not great numbers for Blackman against Hand. 2 for 15, 5 Ks. The bats with Story at second, Valeka at first. Almost came back for a strike just inside. First bullpen whip this season. You get the Padres in the top 6.
Whip it good. Walks, hits combined per innings pitched. Padres are right there.
Devo 1-0. 1-1 pitch coming up. Fouled off, and jumping ahead is Hand. 1-2.
Try to detect it. It's not too late to whip it.
Whip it good.
You're getting there.
I know. It's really scary. Story at second, Valeka at first. 2 outs here in the Rockies' 8th inning. And looking out at second base a few times, and finally time call. Ian Desmond has come out on deck. He would pinch hit in the pitcher's spot if we get that far. There are 2 outs. Check swing. Did he go? No, says Larry Vanover. And it evens up now at 2-2. If he hits it, I think it's a double.
I think so too.
Again, and Lopez couldn't locate it right away. It was right behind him. Got to it pretty quickly though. No advance for the base runners. So Story stays at second, Valeka at first with 2 down here in the 8th. Jordan Lyles still responsible for the 2 men on. 7 1/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Retired 22 in a row today. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So Hand comes in and walks Blackman. Second walk of the inning for Padres pitching, and they're loaded. Desmond now going to pinch hit for the pitcher, Chris Russin. .172, 6 homers, 17 runs batted in. 41st game for Ian Desmond. Played first base in last night's game. Pinch hits here in the 8th inning with the bases loaded today. Strike one, 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
You know, Desmond will chase. That's apparent. He's been struggling lately. A lot of guys trying to avoid the strikeout, maybe get a little froggy with those runners in scoring position. They'll swing at some bad pitches. And there you see the career versus Brad Hand for the right-handed hitting Ian Desmond.
Started. Lyles was able to strike out Gonzalez to begin the inning. Trevor Story broke up the perfect game bid with a single to left. Walk for Valleca. Yates came in, struck out Walters. Walked to Blackman by hand, and bases loaded. A 1-1 to Ian Desmond. And a liner to center field. Margot coming in to make the catch on the sinking liner. Well, the Rockies will leave them loaded in the 8th inning. 4-0 Padres. Visit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Oh, I love the keys. Did they come into play today? Rookie romper room. Reyes' first career major league hit. Villanueva, 2-run home run. Yeah, the kids are getting into the act. Let kids be kids. More of the same from Jordan. Well, we saw more of the same and then some. 7 1/3, 1 hit, no earned runs. He was perfect for 21 hitters, 22 hitters, 10 strikeouts on the afternoon. A great day for Jordan Lyles and the Padres collectively.
New pitcher is Mike Dunn into the game. Third arm used today by Bud Black.
Got some good arms down in that bullpen for the Colorado Rockies. 14th game for Mike Dunn. Almost even on the splits. High ERA. You know, for a reliever, we talk about it all the time, how one outing can just balloon that ERA of yours, and it's really tough to bring it down because nowadays guys are only going 1 inning an outing, right? Maybe an inning plus, so it's tough to bring that ERA down.
Jose Pirela leading it off here for the Padres in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dunn taking over for Chris Russin, who pitched the 6th and 7th innings. One of 2 innings, giving up 2 hits. And Desmond's at first. Valleca has moved from first to second base for the Rockies. Anyway, Chris Russin, 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 2. So the starter Marquez gave up 2 in 5 innings, and Russin gave up 2 in 2 innings, both giving up 2-run home runs. Franchi Cordero waiting on deck. And then Manuel Margot here in the bottom of the 8th trying to add on to a 4-0 advantage. Ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Perella to start things in the 8th. After the ball game, the Padres are headed east to Pittsburgh to begin a 4-game series on Thursday. Corey Dickerson this year hitting at .319 for the Pirates, 3rd among National League outfielders. Starling Marte in the last 8 games heating it up. And Ivan Nova, who will pitch in the series, his career against Padres 1-1 with a 2.31 earned run average in 4 career starts. Padres and Pirates from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Buccos are keeping pace with Milwaukee and St. Louis going in today, 1 game out.
Darrow's swing of the first pitch, back at third, Arenado into foul ground now. And he'll make the catch for out number 1 of the 8th inning.
Pirates also playing well at home. 12-6 going into today.
Seems like maybe dealing with some weather in Pittsburgh over the weekend.
Always dealing with weather in Pittsburgh though, right?
Yes, seems that way. A long rain delay last year, as I recall.
Yes.
I was not there, but you were playing games, remember?
Jenga with Steve Blass and Greg Brown.
One down here in the 8th.
And I won, by the way.
Did you?
Yes. So no raising of the Jolly Roger in the game of Jenga.
Manuel Margot pinch ran in the 6th inning after Franmil Reyes got his first major league hit. Margot goes around and is down 0-1. Strike 2. Leadoff walk for Jose Perella. Cordero fouls out to the third baseman, Nolan Arenado. 0-2 pitch to Margot. Time called very late. Following through the pitch was Mike Dunn. Third pitcher used today, second reliever by Bud Black here in the 8th inning. In the dirt, 1-2. It is Margot now. Rafi Lopez next. With 1 down here in the last of the 8th inning. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Perella. Not trying to steal yet. Another throw over, and this time they got him. So picked off of first base was Perella. Just a snap throw over there by Mike Dunn, and they get him.
You know what? I think that should be a balk. You see, he moved his hand before he stepped off. And I know it's splitting hairs, but you're supposed to step off and then make your motion with your hand. He moved his hand first. And then he stepped off the rubber. Very, very close. Tough break for Perella. Margot hits a fly ball to shallow left field. Parra makes his way in,
and under to make the catch that ends the inning. We head for the ninth. The Padres have a 4-0 lead. Game's had a little bit of everything today as Franmil Reyes gets his first major league hit. A couple of 2-run home runs. Perfect game that went into, amazingly, the 8th inning. 22 straight retired by Lyles to begin the day. 4-0 Padres. To the 9th we go. And the first pitch of the inning from Brad Hand is going to miss to David Dahl, the leadoff hitter and center fielder for the Rockies. 0 for 3 today. Striking out twice, both times swinging, and both times against Jordan Lyles. To center field, Manuel Margot moving back to make the catch on the warning track out there in center for the first out of the 9th inning.
Catch the full interview with Padres shortstop Freddie Galvis, where he talks with Mike Pomerantz about his journey from a small town in Venezuela to playing in the big leagues on Inside San Diego Sports tonight after Padres Live. And speaking of Padres Live, right after the Padres wrap this one up, we're going to have a chance to talk about what happened in today's game, a chance of seeing possible history, and talking to Jordan Lyles on his efforts today at Petco Park. So stay tuned. Padres Live, the postgame show.
One down here in the 9th inning, and it brings up Gerardo Parra. Parra 0 for 3 has popped out to short, grounded out to short, and flied out to left. And there for a strike, 1-1. Breaking ball drops in there for strike 2. Off the end of the bat, foul, staying alive, 1-2. Now Arenado next as the Rockies bat here in the 9th. Best opportunity. Base is loaded with 2 down in the 8th, and pinch hitter Desmond lined out to center field, and they left him loaded. Just protecting the plate there and flipping it foul off to the left out of play. Day baseball today from San Diego in the finale of this homestand for the Padres. Goes to the Nationals, the Cardinals, and now the Rockies as part of this homestand. 1-2 from Hand. And I think he went. He did. Strike 3. Parr knew it. Takes with him the first strikeout for Brad Hand. 2 down in the 9th.
Boy, he'll make so many hitters try to commit, and it's tough to hold up on that breaking ball. Even if you make contact with that pitch, it's a weak grounder or a weak fly ball. Nothing behind it at all.
2 down in the 9th, and Nolan Arenado. Rounds 1 foul outside of third for strike 1. Arenado has struck out swinging, grounded out to third, and grounded out to third again. Came in, walked the first batter, got a line out, now has a fly out and a strikeout. Needed 4 outs, he's got 3 so far. Next pitch will be the 20th in relief. And it picks up the outside corner for strike 2. And to their feet they come at Petco Park in San Diego. The Friar faithful standing is 1. Trying to wrap up this game today. The 1-2 pitch to Nolan Arenado. Fouls it back to the screen and stays alive. And this would be Jordan Lyles' first career win at Petco Park. If the Padres can wrap it up. Again, a 1-2 from Brad Hand. Arenado, did he go? No. Check with first base umpire Ramon De Jesus. He's trying to get out of the way, but also swinging at the same time.
You know, second look, I thought he went.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
It's another chance here, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Arenado strikes out and the Padres win. Brad Hand with back-to-back strikeouts in the 9th inning to wrap it up as the Padres shut out the Colorado Rockies 4-0. Hand ends up striking out 2 and enjoying a 1-2-3 9th inning, all part of a 4-0 Padres win. Nice win in the homestand. It's time for Padres Live. What's in store, Mike Pomerantz?
Well, we're going to hear from Jordan Lyles. He was the star of the game, as you pointed out, retiring the first 22 hitters he faced. Also, Eric Hosmer with a big 2-run home run. Padres with a shutout win. Postgame coming up.